Happy opening day, baseball fans, and also fans of Wager Talking Sports Memo. Happy Throwback Thursday. All pick packages that are loaded, all plays that are loaded, slash them 50% off, and that's even on top of if you already have some deals rocking. So we love to see it. It's something that we'll be doing over these next few weeks, and it's great for you baseball fans here on opening day, or if you just like cashing in as baseball is finally here. You see to the side of me, it's an all baseball edition here, and we have two of the best at SportsMemo.com. We got Eric Pauly and my man Jeff Michaels, JM Sports, joining me for all baseball plays all day long today. So we got a 4-pack for them to drop for you as we get you that actionable information in 30 minutes or less each and every show here on Sports Memo Today. So let's get right into it. Eric Pauly joining me, and pumped to see you are excited the fact that baseball is back here, brother. So let's get right into it. You got a under that you'd like to break down in the Cleveland and Seattle game. What's the reasoning behind it?
Yeah, so obviously it's opening day, so you have the studs of the studs going for every team who is fortunate enough to have a number one ace, and you're looking exactly at that for the Cleveland Guardians. They have Shane, a lot of good pitching, and they opted to go with Luis Castillo, their mid-season acquisition this opening day this year. And obviously on opening day and just in the month of April historically, totals actually come down a little bit easier for the pitchers to go against the hitters than vice versa. And as time goes on, the hitters start to warm up a little bit more. But looking at this matchup, even though the total is already down to as low as 6.5, I think that the under is still in play, even though it is priced into, account for these two really good pitchers, because both of these teams last year, for starters, were more under type teams. And while they're good offensively, they're a little underwhelming in this. These are teams that single and double teams to death rather than go for the long ball. So obviously, overall, that's a better strategy because you don't live and die on the big swing. You're able to actually manufacture runs. But on a day-to-day basis, it's somehow a little bit more inconsistent because if you're not producing those hits and getting those walks in the first place, you're going to have some trouble scoring runs. Looking at the caliber of pitching, again, and these two lineups, while I do love the outlook on both of these teams who made the playoffs last year and are expected to make the playoffs again this year, I just think all things considered that of any of these matchups where you're looking at two stud pitchers, the under might seem obvious, even though it is priced in already. This is a matchup where the strengths of both teams are really in the pitching. Their offenses are not coming along yet, obviously. So I like the under in this late game Mariners-Guardians tonight.
Well, we're the same as Major League Baseball EP. They have the studs of the studs going, and that's why I said give me Eric Pauly and Jeff Michaels on the show today. We got the studs of the studs bringing you some baseball action here on Sports Memo Today. And I also love when you break down some of these player props, which is what you're going to do next. You have a home run hitter that might even just get us a 5-1 to start off the year. I don't think the listeners and viewers will be too mad about that. Who are we betting on to make this thing go yard?
Yeah, so I was looking at different ways to attack the board today because, again, obviously you're looking at these studs and you're thinking, stud v stud under, no run first inning, first five, kind of those like obvious ways to think about it. So I took a look at some of the pitchers who are starting today, and there are a few who are really not number one pitchers, and that one of these pitchers is German Marquez for the Colorado Rockies. Last year, it led up a ton of runs, crazy high ERA and FIP, and you're thinking, okay, most of that damage probably came at Coors Field, one of the hardest places to pitch at because of the altitude. But if you broke it down, on the road, actually, he had a 1.96 home run through 9. So with the altitude having no correlation there, I think that's just Marquez not being a great pitcher. In Machado's career against Marquez, he bats .427 and has a dinger. So given the plus 500, there's actually some boosts on some sports books depending on your state. I saw one at Caesars today to give you a profit boost on home run specifically. I recommend you that if possible to get this to plus 750, which is what I did this morning. But again, Marquez lets up the long ball like it's nothing. Machado coming off a great World Baseball Classic and sees Marquez well. I'm going with the over.
Nothing like Yeah, nothing like over a half home run. I knew what you were saying, brother. So yeah,
Ooh.
nothing quite like the crack of the bat here on opening day. Eric Pauly, one of our contributors and mainstays with the Gold Sheet. You can check him out at sm.buzz/EP. And Eric, I know you, the clients, all the folks over at the Gold Sheet are just pumped that the diamond action is finally back, right?
Oh, we are so excited. So much content coming out. We have the power rankings every Monday. We're doing pitcher matchup breakdowns every single day. You're getting stat sheets, MLB traditional type of play, player props, same game parlay, ways to attack those kind of tons of content coming to the Gold Sheet. And we already started. More coming throughout the whole season.
Yeah, and you can get the Gold Sheet betting guide for free. Head on over to goldsheet.com and get yourself ready for MLB action. Can't believe it is here already. And while you're over there, why not just open up another tab? Head to wagertalk.com or sportsmemo.com, as all Thursday daily packages are /50% off. We're throwing it back. So that means you can grab a that would only be $12.50. You can get a 5% top-rated play. That's normally priced $35 for just a single play. How about $17.50? And the hottest sales item of the day, you can get access from handicappers of your choice. Slash it half off. So that's one day of every applicable play that they release, including those 5% plays. Normally $39 for that access. You can get it for just $19.50. Check that out at wagertalk.com, sportsmemo.com. You can get the info on that at the deals page. A guy that you definitely want to hop in on come baseball season is the stat prince himself, Jeff Michaels, JM Sports, joining me. I know he's pumped. Hey, you'll be watching that Cleveland-Seattle game, hoping for a win for the Guardian side, but also we can hope for keeping those runs nice and low here as we could get Eric Pauly cashing his as well. You have a play that I'm really excited about. Well, we'll save that one for last. You also have an under that you're eyeing, and I'll let you break down which game we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. And, like Eric kind of mentioned, we got those studs of the studs pitching tonight, and Mets in Miami is where we're looking. We got two more studs going over there, no question. Mets got Scherzer on the mound, and, I think for the first time actually in a while, nobody's questioning the capabilities of Alcantara, but there's no question now that Sandy Alcantara is the number one pitcher in Miami. There's no Pablo Lopez to compete against. And, that's, again, nothing against Alcantara. But this is his fourth straight opening day now that Alcantara has thrown for Miami. In 2020, 6 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. 2021, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs. And last year, 5 innings, 3 hits, and 2 earned runs. His worst opening day, if we want to call it that. But still, 17 2/3 innings on opening day, and he's only allowed 3 earned runs. And you got Scherzer coming in, reuniting the duo that they got there with Scherzer and Verlander, taking it from Detroit over to New York now. But Scherzer didn't face Miami last year, actually, with the way that, him being on a different team and the scheduling. But in his career, he's got an ERA under 3.0 against the Marlins, and his whip is just 1.057 with 3 consecutive starts going under the total. And, like Eric said, I think we're all kind of looking at different ways to kind of attack these opening days. It is kind of different. But how about a little TNA? Since 2021, there's only been 10 games that the home team has been an underdog in their first game of the season. 2-7-1 to the under there. So looks like we're betting the under on those home dogs. And I definitely like it here tonight in the Miami-New York game.
Yeah, and you can grab that play. I believe we're looking at 7s nearly across the board after it's ticked up a little bit from that 6.5. My man Jeff Michael saying, hey, that's just giving us more value swooping in on the under. So we're looking at the under in the Mets game going, and that's around 4:10 Eastern. So this is a play you're probably going to run. Don't walk to grab if you want to get in on that under, as that under is shaded, seeing some -120s at that 7, maybe even some 125. So I might be hopping back down to 6.5 sooner rather than later. All right, Jeff, now the piece de resistance. Usually you come on here and you're explaining to me why my Philadelphia teams are going to choke, are going to fumble the bag, but they're really good at getting to the championship games. They're really good at the regular season of getting there. It's just once the championship games roll around, we go 3 straight heartbreaks. So are you telling me there's going to be some jubilation on opening day? The Phillies are a dog as they're taking on the Rangers, and we just might be backing them alongside my man, Jeff Michaels.
Yeah, you started it off perfectly for me, Dan. How about they made it to the freaking World Series last year?
Whew.
And Texas is in, doesn't even matter what Texas did. Texas is in the AL West. So, I mean, that says something when you're looking at last year's numbers. And you might be one of the few people that seem to remember that the Phillies were in the World Series last year, it seems like. I like Texas. I like what they've done in the offseason. But the biggest thing that stands out to me about this Texas team is all their big acquisitions that they got in the offseason. Yet you only got one starting pitcher per game. So the fact that DeGrom, Odorizzi, Andrew Haney, and Nathan Eovaldi can't exactly all help you in the same game. It's a much more beneficial thing for a longevity aspect when you look at the Rangers. And then you got a Philly team that, at least on paper, in my opinion, got better. They get Trey Turner, who's this Cinderella story right now. I mean, obviously we know he's good, but he had a pretty impressive World Baseball Classic, to say the least. And, one of the issues that Philly had last year was their bullpen. They did lose a couple of their better guys, but one thing definitely stood out to me. How about the fact there were only 14 pitchers in the entire MLB last year that had 22 or more, or over 20 saves, excuse me. Philadelphia signed 2 of those 14 players in the offseason this year. So definitely adding some strength to their bullpen, which is really where I think they need it. And while I do like, as I mentioned, what Texas has done, I think a lot of these teams that make a lot of these big moves take a little bit of time to get into the swing of things, and 4 starting pitchers aren't exactly going to help Texas in their opening day game. So I do like Philly tonight, especially with the value of getting him as an underdog. Who would have bet him as an underdog against Texas when you were looking at him in the World Series last year? So, but give me Philly opening day. Couldn't disappoint you anymore, Dan.
Yeah, I love to see it. And one way that I'm going to attack this game, I'm going to leave it to the professionals and the real baseball experts like my man, Jeff Michaels. But I just look across and see that they're posting a team total for the Phillies of 2.5. And I get it. Part of it is because Jacob deGrom is on the mound, and Jacob deGrom owns the Phillies. 9-1, I believe, against the Phillies, in his career. However, he still is giving up about 2.25 ERA. So we maybe get one off of him, maybe get some, I don't know if he's going to give up a home run, but maybe you knock one in and then they go to the bullpen. 2.5 seems low for a team that always is going to rely on the long bomb. And sure, no Rhys Hoskins, sure, no Bryce Harper, but you still have Schwarbombs. You have Trey Turner, like you alluded to. I don't know. I just look at that 2.5, and before I let you sign off and we get you some promo, that seems a little low to me, man.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And a lot of the story that I've heard about DeGrom is you think about last year, you think about the offense that he had behind him, and what kind of run support was he getting? Now you're asking him to get better run support with this Texas team?
I'm with you, man. I'm with you. So let's get a Phillies win. Let's get over 2.5 runs, and then Jeff and I will be sitting pretty next time we have him on. All right, Jeff, I know baseball season is one of your absolute favorites, but don't forget you've also done terrific on the hardwood, and we got Final Four action in March Madness right around the pike. So you have anything locked and loaded for that? And as we head forward into baseball season, what can folks expect from you when we have these 50-day slash-off days?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to baseball. Like you said, yesterday is the only day out of the year that I was ecstatic that there was no baseball at all, because we knew that was the eve of the start. So, looking forward to it. I kicked it off with 3 plays today, and actually that Mets under is one of my premium plays for the page. So I do like attacking it from different angles. I like my strikeout props, so we'll definitely see a lot of props moving forward. But I am going to give those at least a little bit of time to make sure these pitchers are getting into form before we start asking 12, 13 strikeouts out of guys. But, looking forward to it. And I do not have college basketball quite locked yet. Got my eye on a big game, though. Should be up today at the latest. It'll be up by noon Eastern by tomorrow. So looking forward to it, guys.
That's my man, Jeff Michaels. Happy that baseball is back, and hopefully you're excited to cash on it as well. Well, got the Circa screens behind me, and my man Eric, my producer, has a date with Circa in his near future, and hopefully you do as well. One of the best sports books, if not the best out there, that I love going to catch a game in Las Vegas. So we're going to shut things down here. Huge thanks to Eric, Pauly. Huge thanks to Jeff Michaels. Hop below in the comments and let us know your favorite opening day bets. I saw Raven Ron was in the chat saying, let's go O's. Hopefully they get a win for him as well. We're happy to be here with you. Make sure you give us a like and hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of the great shows here at Wager Talk TV or at SportsMemo TV. And best of luck on your opening day wagers. Until next Tuesday, I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and we'll see you back here. Best of luck from SportsMemo Today.